Good.
Nice. Nice shirt.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Hey, I'm Jer, by the way, and this is Ernie.
Nice to
How's
meet
it
you.
going?
Nice to meet you guys. Yeah, good, good. I
Man,
miss you.
this has been a bit of a road, long time coming for us to get a hold of you. It's
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
more my end than your end. Like I remember I emailed you like last year and was like, "Hey, we'd love to talk with you," and you're like, "Hey, I don't do audio, man. I don't do the voice." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, no big deal."
Yeah. Yeah. Like plot twist. I don't have a voice to begin with. No.
A plot twist. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're yeah, exactly. Man,
Yeah, I've just been like, easing into the whole like yeah, podcast thing and everything, and like sometime this year that's when I'm going to really be going on to like, speaking in my content and everything.
cool.
So like I've kind of been like limiting um you know myself to like doing podcasts and everything. Also just from like a comfort point of view, like
Right,
I'm just kind
right.
of like, oh, what do I talk about, or
It's okay.
but this is cool though. Thank you. Yeah.
We'll worry about the questions. You just hang out. You're at home. You,
Yeah, yeah.
is your awesome dog around? You can hang out with
Oh,
him.
you want
Busy,
to say
right?
busy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take your time.
Busy? Busy. Busy. One sec.
Maybe he's napping. That's okay. Oh. Oh, the dogs are going at it. The dogs are fighting.
Oh,
I told you she had an awesome dog.
Wow.
Aww.
little Pomeranian.
Sweet. Wow.
Oh.
He's pissed. Did you wake him up?
Do you want a coffee? You want a coffee?
He's
He's usually really cute. What's happening?
pissed. Oh.
Oh.
Or maybe there's a squirrel outside.
I just picked him up all of a sudden, so he just.
He's like,
got-
whoa, he's freaking
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, yeah. Who's that?
Awesome. What a beautiful dog. I have a Siberian Husky, so it's like the same kind of like
Cute.
coat and family.
Sorry, hang on.
What?
It's the same coat.
It's the same kind of like family of dog. Like it's like that.
It's
kinda
like the same dog, but not really, because it's much
No,
larger
Hang on.
and sleeps outside in the winter. But yeah, exact same dog.
Oh, he
Exact
seems
same.
mad. Let's just put him down. Put him down. Don't
Yeah.
get bit anymore.
That's so cute. Oh, wait.
Well, I'm glad I said hello. That's awesome.
That was the worst first impression of my dog ever.
That's okay. Okay. We love dogs, even if they're biting us when we wake them up.
That's
It's
all
okay.
good.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
And I'm happy to see that we all coordinated the same microphone. So we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I'm glad that too.
Yes.
The
Yes.
roadie.
Yes.
Rad. It's good quality. So I just want to I want to get into it. We've already been into it, but Ernie and I my brother and I are huge fans. We're from Canada, obviously. I was a huge fan of the way you produce music, and like Ernie and I are both into like the hardcore scene, and so I stumbled upon your music. You were doing like some work with I think a band that I was interested in, but then I also saw like you had this giant list of people that you worked with, but.
Yeah.
I just found it so cool and interesting. Like you it looks like you come from like a classical background of music, but then you produce and make this amazing stuff. And I just really wanted to hear your story.
Yeah, so like, first it started on social media for me, and then long story short, people started to want me to incorporate my sounds into their music. And then, once one band releases a feature with me, another band sees that,
Yeah.
and it just kind of grows exponentially. And it's a really cool journey. Yeah, really cool
Yeah.
journey.
So did you grow up in Melbourne? Is that how
Yes,
you
I
pronounce
did.
it?
Yeah, I love how you pronounce it. Yeah, it's Melbourne. Yeah,
Melbourne.
but I
Okay.
like Melbourne. We can
Okay,
skip that,
Melbourne.
okay?
We have another homie from Melbourne.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with her. Her name is Nikki Bruman, and she used to sing for a band Pagan, and now
Okay, not familiar. That's
Blood,
awesome.
and she's in Blood Command now.
Nice.
In Norway. But anyway, she's a homie, and that's how
Yeah.
that's how I figured out the time thing before, because we talked to her before, but I was just didn't know if you knew who she was. Anyway, so you grew up in Melbourne, sorry. And so were you like, I know that you obviously you've taught music, and I saw that you have your master's in teaching, but
Yeah.
was music always a thing growing up?
Yes, it was. So it's like, like as a kid growing up, like, I was like dancing to Venga Boys and, Backstreet Boys, just like most kids, all that kind of stuff. And then when I was 6 years old, my parents signed me up to piano lessons, right?
Mm.
And from the age of like 6 until 19, that's when I was doing like, exams every year, like
Yeah.
Chopin, Bach, all that kind of
Yep.
stuff, learning technical stuff, scales, chords, all that.
Yep.
From 6 till 19, I was doing exams. But it was like in the middle of that, kind of like when I was 13, 14, 15, I was just falling out of love with, like, do I have
Yeah.
to do it? And I quit,
Mhm.
Yep.
I quit dancing. I quit like I did gymnastics a bit before that. I quit that. I did Polish school. My family's I've got a Polish background. I did Saturday school, Polish. Like I quit all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
And piano was that last thread. I'm like, Mom, can I quit piano? She's like, no, you can't quit piano, And I'm like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'd be like
Mhm.
like living on the street now probably.
Oh wow.
Were you taking
Um,
private lessons, or were you doing so we call it
Conservatory.
yeah, we call it the conservatory, where it's like you do
Oh, yeah.
different levels. Were you doing the levels one, or were you doing private
Yeah,
lessons?
yeah, I was doing like the different levels. So I
Yeah.
started we have this program where it's like, you got step 1, step 2, step
Mhm.
Yep.
3, and then
Yep.
you go like grade 1
Yeah.
up
Yep.
to grade 9, and
Yep.
some grades take like 2 years, and I did my final grade, which is grade 9, when I was 19, and I got like the
Right.
best marks I've ever
Yeah.
gotten
Awesome.
because I had full control of what I wanted to play rather than just ask my teacher for help, like, oh, what songs should I play.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got 93%. So I'm super happy with it. Whereas, like the other grades, I honestly got in like the 70s and 80%. Like I wasn't someone who would absolutely practice like crazy, but I would be someone like when I was, between the ages of 13 and 15, when I was falling out of love with it,
Mhm.
I would practice my exam stuff less, but I would practice like, My Chemical Romance,
Yeah.
do some like Slipknot riffs on the piano. So I
Yeah.
would be
Sick.
getting
Yeah.
that up, stuff that's relevant to me now, So it kind
Yeah.
of makes sense. Yeah, I was just really drawn to, getting like little riffs down on the piano from like Parkway Drive songs and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, when I was 19, that's when I started YouTube as Misstiq.
Right on.
Oh.
Did they do theory when you were at the doing the levels? Because
Yeah.
I struggled with theory right from like when I started. I hated it because
Oh,
like they'd go, do you want to transpose it from like a fifth up? And I'm like, I'm never gonna use this. So why the hell
Yeah.
do I need to do it, right? But
Yeah.
like I that was the one thing I struggled with in school. I could play an amazing, but
Nice.
you make me write it out and it ain't happening.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a huge theory nerd. Like, when I was at school, like I struggled with math, I struggled with science, all that kind of stuff. But music's like my special kind of, you know,
Yep.
subject where I just felt like, you know what, I actually get it. And I didn't flex it too much to anyone because it's like, oh, whatever, no one's really going to get it. But like when I do need to use it in my features or my
Right.
content or whatever, when I'm putting together like crazy orchestral arrangements or whatever, it just makes sense. There's no like real writer's block.
Right.
Because yeah, I've got this library in my head of like different
Exactly.
theoretical options, and I'm like, all right, I'll just
Yeah.
use this now, use this. If I use this option, these next 5 would be the best to use, or if I use this, it's like a coding kind of.
Yeah. Oh, we get it.
Oh,
We
I
get
know.
it.
Like
We
I get it with
Yeah.
chords. I couldn't get like transposing it up. I just couldn't
Yeah.
understand that.
We-
Like
we
fifths
were-
and minors and all.
We had a very similar upbringing with our parents. Shoved us into music when we were like 6 and like 8. So like we
Yeah.
played in like concert bands. Where like I played brass, so I played trumpet. He played trombone, and then everything else. And then so they just put us in everything. You know what I mean? All the private lessons and the conservatory and all that stuff. And we just kind of like, we just obviously did our own thing. But
Yeah.
I know we know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and hiding in the bathroom so you don't have to practice anymore.
Yeah, hour a day. Thanks.
Half
So
mad.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So out of like this awesome story of like with the piano, and then like staying, your parents making you stay with it, which ultimately was an awesome decision. So what made you want to get, so I know that you went to school for your master's in teaching. Why was that important for you? Why did you want to go do that?
Yeah, well, you know, when I was 16, like I was thinking like, what do I do with my life? But I always knew there was hope. I never like, you know, cried over my future or like, what am I gonna do? Or there was always something that I knew I would be great at. Music was the thing that I was very drawn to. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just, you know, after year 12, like, you know, when I'm like 19 onwards, let's just do uni. Um,
Yep.
let's just do music. Let's just do music, and life's gonna figure itself out. As long as I, you know, just you know, like I used to stress a lot during high school. I just wanted to like, you know, like chill out, do something that I enjoyed. And, you know, if you're really good at something, then, you know, you can make a lot of career opportunities come up with that.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
yeah, as I was like, you know, 16, 17, 18, I used to want to be like, well, I used to see some older students at the piano school that I was learning at as a student still. I used to see some slightly older students become teachers. And so what happened was I asked my teacher, who was who was like the director of the school. I was like, hey, what can I do to I was kind of shy to ask if I could work at the school. So I was like, do you have any tips on me teaching from my own house, right? And he's like, oi, let's just get you to work here. You're good at what you do. We'll get you students straight away. We'll work
Oh, no
around
way.
uni. Yeah, we'll work around your uni schedule. That's when I was 19. And I was on like my last grade as a student as well, right? Um, and yeah, he got me a job there like in the second half of the year of like when I first started uni when I was 19. And then that teaching job, it was just like a real kind of job, right? Not like retail, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like I felt like I was in the real world and I was dealing with real students, real parents, all that kind of stuff. Like really making an impact for their future and their happiness and all that. And then
Wow.
I just thought, you know what, let's just, so I was studying, so at the time, right, I was studying music composition at Melbourne University. And, you know, that took 3 years. And after those 3 years, I had 1 year of a gap year, just kind of like figuring out what I want to do, take a bit of a break from learning because, you know, we're at school since we're like 5 or 6.
Yeah, exactly.
And in that year, I thought, you know, I was still working as a piano teacher. I was still getting, you know, new students. I was getting really good rep at the school and everything. I was really proud of my job. And I wanted to take that pride to the next level, right? So I just thought, you know what, let's be one of those, you know, really good piano teachers at a private school or two private
Yeah.
schools or whatever that teach during the day. And then after school, I was still keen to go to this, you know, after school job because this after school job was like 4 p.m. till 8 p.m., half an hour lessons. And then in order for me to get into a private school, like to teach there, I had to, a lot of them wanted the like masters of teaching to be done.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's why I signed up to Master of Teaching, right? That just took a year and a half, also at Melbourne Uni. During that time, right, we did placements. So as an actual classroom teacher. So I was studying with people that wanted to be principals, like legit teachers, all that
Oh, I
stuff.
see
I
what you're
just
saying.
wanted to be like a little, you know, instrumental teacher. And then, yeah, after that, I like, you know, after those 1.5 years, I found myself to just be applying for a substitute teaching role because I realized how easy it is to just become a substitute teacher at an agency. It's really good pay, flexible. We have an app where we can just like, you know, mark our days off. We don't get asked why. And in that time, I would be doing content, you know, but I would work
Yeah.
Monday to Friday. This is for like 3 solid years, right? I would be working religiously Monday to Friday as a substitute teacher. And then after that, I would drive straight to my after school piano teaching job starting at 4 p.m. and then
Man.
finishing 7:30 or 8. And yeah, throughout the day, like during lunch, recess, whatever, between students, I would be like doing my Misstiq emails. I'd be planning
That's
my
sick.
content. I'd be editing videos. So yeah, it's like super
Wow.
crazy to think about that now. Yeah, now it's just like I've kind of, you know, long story short, I finished up teaching. Misstiq's my main job now. Yeah.
So now you're like producer, pianist, content creator. Like, how does that feel coming from that, like you've worked, like not to say like you're still working hard, but you work so hard to get to like the certain place of like teaching and doing that. Like that's an amazing job doing that in a private school, and now doing Misstiq full time. Like, how does that feel? Like,
Yeah,
is
it
it?
feels really rewarding. And yeah, whenever I want to do like any Misstiq task as in, do like a crazy feature for someone that does take a lot of effort, or wake up and have to film content or whatever, have to do something for Misstiq, I think back to myself having to get up at 7 a.m. to
Yeah.
catch the 7:30 a.m. train for 1 hour to uni to learn something little, go home, do an assignment on that, do the same thing next day. So like going to uni, working, and then after uni, even, after uni finished, after I worked a full school day and then a full evening, that really like trained my
Wow.
brain to just be like, yeah, nah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I think it's awesome that your school even helped you do teaching at the school, because we had a program called co-op.
Yeah.
And the only thing that they had offered, because they had tried to put me into, because I had thought about going into teaching, and they had gone, well, we'll put you in our placement idea, and they put me in a school where I was working with 3-year-olds, and we're clapping to ABCs and I Love You by Barney, and I'm like, this is not what I wanted to do. So I ended up leaving that and going to another high school to go teach with them. And my co-op teacher called me like 3 months later. She's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm at this like Christian high school. I'm helping teach them how to play their instrument." And I'm like, because I tried to do it at our school and it left, and
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. So like, I think that's awesome that your school like helped you go through
That's
that.
pretty cool.
For sure. Yeah, that's mad. Yeah.
And do you
Man.
guys, is your like the music programs, other than like your school that you went to, was it very, very big, like at the high schools where you were?
Yeah, was music like a big part of your like
Curriculum,
regular school, like high school? Like we call it high school. I don't know if you guys.
In my high school,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was actually like I was a part of the music. What is it? Every year we had a production, like musical theater. I played in the band. I played on keyboard.
That's cool.
That's where they wanted me to deal with like changing the sound to like strings and all this stuff. Like they still had a whole band,
awesome.
but they just wanted the extra stuff. And like now it makes sense in my head.
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, it was in front of me the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just did like, a bunch of different sounds in the theater productions. I was a part of concert band. I was a part of this type of class, which is called like vet music. And it's just to do with music technology, where, we would sit at a computer, record stuff. That's when I was 17, 18. Like that opened my eyes to, yes, I don't want to necessarily be on stage. I want to just be behind a computer, still have a mad as impact on whatever I'm doing. We would do like mashups, like remixes. So I had a lot of kind of
cool.
involvement in music in high school.
Man,
that's awesome.
Our program was like
Yeah.
one thing. Mind you, that we had a couple bands. But
Mine tanked, and then when I was done high school, I actually got to go see Jeremy play at his school, and I was so impressed at like how well they did and like how well the program was run. That jazz band that you played in, that was so good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a really good.
I'm a
band.
jazz trumpet player.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I keep it up a little bit, but
I think it's awesome though, like to hear that you were like classically trained when you started, because it's like there's a lot of people that you hear that like classically trained, but then I kind of veered away from that. But it's like it's such a good basis, because the music is really dry if you kind of get into the really old stuff like Tchaikovsky or anything like that. But like once you get out of it, it's like it was a really good
but
base.
all the theory, like this is a prime example. Like all the theory and all the stuff just came to fruition outside. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry, we're talking here music. We can get off topic when we talk about music. We did it for so long. So now that you have so part of the coming out of the YouTube stuff. Were you always on Spotify at that time, or that's a newer thing, right? Spotify.
That's like So I should probably release more on Spotify than I do, but
I know you have the one album.
I would say like 4-ish years ago, that's when I started Spotify.
Okay.
I just put a few really good piano covers on there. They're not there now. I did a cleanse last year just to clean up my brand, get some new stuff rolling out. But yeah, I would upload maybe 5-6 different covers, like, you know, Reign of Darkness by Thy Art, like a Make Them Suffer song, a Born of Osiris song, just some songs that I just like felt really proud to, you know how to kind of arrange classically on piano, easy listening music. But yeah, that's all on like a archived type of SoundCloud at the moment, which I've posted about a few times, but it's like kind of there for those who search up for it.
Yeah.
That's like where all of my old YouTube covers are as well,
Cool.
like the classic, you know, Parkway Drive ones that I started off with for the OGs. And yeah, I've got like a whole like archive thing, like SoundCloud, because I feel bad stripping that music away from my fans. But yeah, I cleaned up my Spotify last year or something like that. I'd have a video games album there with called Nostalgia.
Nostalgia, yeah.
Just a bunch of like really cool sounding, you know, instrumental video game songs that I put together. That was, I think, 2 years ago, and a few months ago, like, well, last year, I put out Zelda.
Zelda. Yep. Yeah, I've heard that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wanted to ask you. So the nostalgia is like a lot of video game themes. Like they're all video game themes, not some of them. So are you into video games? Like, is that did you grow up?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I totally saw that. I was like, I looked at earlier, like I think like maybe a month ago, and I was like, she's like so into these video games, like Metal Gear Solid. Yeah. Does she like games? Yeah, exactly. I just thought, like, you know, not a lot of people would make, like, I think that they're called like lo-fi ambient kind of like vibe, right? So
that's right.
And it was just like I've never like I'm into like hardcore and like you know R&B and like jazz, and I'm not really into the lo-fi stuff, but I can appreciate it when I'm like studying for school or something or just hanging out. And like I thought that was really cool, like this whole, and then transitioning it and making it into like all the themes of like all the major video games we grew up with, like all their themes.
Yeah,
like that's
cool.
very unique.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, that's why it's called nostalgia. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe.
Okay.
Just random word.
So now like you provide. So I read your like a couple of your headlines. Like you provide service for bands and you spice up tracks, and I've been a huge fan of your creativity and your content, and everything is so clean and crisp, and you have such a look, and it's very fashionable, and it's very like the content you create is so like it's inspiring. I look at Ernie and it's like we make videos where we have like giant beards and we just like talk about like, you know, the things coming up. So it's for people who also make content. You're like the top
upper echelon.
Yeah. Everything is so precise, and you always look so nice, and everything looks so great. And I'm always like, man, Ernie, we gotta like up our game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, out of all of that stuff, like, how did you
create? Call me ugly? Is that what you said?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Like, how did you create such an amazing, like, kind of like it's like a brand, right? Like, how did you create that? Where did that come from?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. The whole like brand stuff, that is, you know, something that I find really, you know, precious to me, and I'm always like, I'm happy with it at the moment. Like, I'm, you know, technically I'm always happy with how I'm going, but I'm not 100% satisfied. But yeah, it's just like a psychological thing. Like, you can't have just good music out there on the internet.
Right.
You got to present yourself as, you know, a perfect package for everyone, right? That means you have to, like, you know, look okay. You have to film, you know, with like a nice crispy camera. Even just your phone's fine. You know, I always film with the non-selfie cam, like the external camera. It's just little things like that, you know, that like add up. I just want people to go through my Instagram page, and in the first 2 seconds, I want them to just straight away think like, all right, I don't know who she is, but she's someone.
Right.
You know, I just want that first 2 seconds impression to just be impressive to, you know, whoever's going on my page. And then it's like, you know, the micro stuff. It's like, how frequently do I post a Beats video? How often do I post one of my pimped up deathcore videos?
Yeah.
It's like, like consistency. And you like, one thing is, you know, being consistent with content, right? Like, but that doesn't mean posting just anything.
Right.
Like, you can't be like consistently shit. You have to be consistently good at what you do, right? yeah, so it's like, I gotta I kind of revolve my content around the same type of colors. I revolve my content around, for example, just like not even talking, like just communicating without my
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
So it's just like these little things that I've pieced together throughout time. I've analyzed artists that I like as well, and or sometimes I would just be like going through a random band's Instagram, and I would have never listened to them ever, but I immediately fell in love with them by the way their Instagram looked. So I would just ask myself constantly, I'm like, all right, what do I like about this? Why do these guys look like they're going to be headlining a festival in a few years? Why did I, if I'm like sitting on the toilet going through Instagram, right, or Facebook, and I just stop at a post, right? Because, we all have, short attention span.
Right.
But if I stop on a post, I have to ask myself, I'm like, why am I stopping on this? Why was this so good that I ignored the 10 posts before that and I stopped on that? So it's like complete analysis of everything to the point where I'm almost going crazy, but it's like, nah, I need that.
It's important. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. I think I need to step up my game.
I
I
want
didn't think that way.
I wanted to ask you before I forget. So when you were doing production you were saying you were doing some of that in high school, opposed to like then from now, the software that you were using, I want to know like the difference, because I had never seen anything until I just started DJing about 4 or 5 years, and I was starting to make my own edits. If there were no clean edits that I could find, I would just kind of use my own little software and just kind of clean it up myself. But I wanted to know like software from when you started to now, like how like leaps and bounds has it come?
Yeah, nice. We started with Cubase. You know Cubase? Yep, cool. Do people still use that? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think everybody's like Fruit Loops and stuff like that.
Like prehistoric times.
Yeah.
Yeah, so me and my dinosaur pets used Cubase. And yeah, so it was like Cubase. My teacher actually after year 12 gave me a CD with Cubase on it, and I used Cubase to like record my audition 4 songs for Melbourne Uni. And yeah, like obviously that was really successful. So and then when I went into Melbourne Uni, we used Logic. That's what I've been using the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just like the UI is very slick. I use Mac as well, like Apple stuff, I mean. And yeah, like I updated it like super late. Like I updated it I think like last year, which is like 4 or 5 years late. But I'm still in love with it. I've tried Pro Tools, but I don't know, it's just like too many things happening.
Yeah.
But...
Yep. Does Logic, correct me if I'm wrong, does Logic have like the samples built into it, or do you have to import all that?
That's got all the stuff there. It's got like a Mad As, library and everything like that. I haven't had any issues with using, Logic and stuff. But like, I do follow a bunch of pages on Instagram which are like Ableton Live, all that kind of stuff, like beat making. I'm a huge fan of, beat making, all that kind of stuff. I do it like outside of my, content world, and yeah, I'll be incorporating more of that soon anyway, like finger drumming and everything. But yeah, I just find it interesting to just learn how people use, other DAWs and how that can inspire me as well in using Logic.
Oh, 100%. Like I learned so much from the people that I follow on Instagram, like from like different ways that they're starting to mix now using like wordplay and like using making my own edits that I kind of wanted something else different. I'm trying to figure out a way to, I haven't got it figured out just yet, but I kind of want to put the Will Smith keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Okay,
and
I think everybody's
and I kind of want to do it with Mama Said Knock You Out. I haven't figured out how I'm going to incorporate that in the intro, right?
Yeah.
But I like stuff like that I can use at like my events and stuff like that.
That's cool.
I love playing around with things like that.
My God.
I dig that so much.
But beats, I can't do beats.
Yeah. Oh no, that's fine. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Just kick and snare.
Yeah. You do it so flawlessly. It looks amazing. It's so cool to watch. And for me, it's like, I'm like, to hear what you add to something. Like when you add, like when you really do spice up a track. To hear like, okay, you hear the track, and then to hear what you add to it, and like just like, and then like rewind it, and then hear the entire like score. It's beautiful. Like, oh my God, so cool. Like it's just like, it kind of makes like, I get so stoked when I hear people doing something and then like being successful at it, but then also like making that their main career. That's like our favorite thing to talk to people about. So
yeah, and having fun with it. You know?
Yeah, and that's the key.
There are
You gotta
people
like,
though that there are people that get stuck into a hobby, right?
Right.
And you know, they love it at the time because they do it every now and then. And they still work a different job, right? But then when that hobby becomes, you know, their career, good on them,
right.
it's like too much and they hate it. So I've had people say to me like, oh, like this is, you know, a couple of years ago when I said like, you know what? I can see myself doing this full time. By the way, things are escalating and all that. I'd have people being like, oh, you know, it's like super hard or
Really?
like it just like straight away being negative. And I'm like, bro,
Wow.
just like give me a chance.
Make
Come
it
on.
easy. God. People. Like, and I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know about you, but like, so whatever I put my energy into, like, it's got to be something I'm stoked for. And not a lot of people do that because, like, you know, we're brought up and taught, but like, you got to make money. You have to have a job that you do every day. But like, man, I love being stoked for the things I do. Like, that's like,
Exactly.
gets you up in the morning. You know what I mean? Like, that's all. Like, it's kind of what we're doing here. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's totally our thing. Man, I was just talking about something and I can't remember what I was going to ask you. Okay, so I go through like, so I was looking through your music and looking through YouTube and stuff, and I know a lot of the content you put out is like the hardcore stuff, and it's so awesome. But you got to know, there's a lot of people who really love the YouTube stuff, like the lo-fi ambient. I see a lot of the comments on your videos, and people are saying like, I was listening to this while making like Christmas morning supper, or I listened to this like. How does that make you feel when you read like those comments and just hear people enjoying the music?
Or do you read the comments?
First, you read it. Second, if you don't, you should feel good.
No. I do. Yeah. I think it's a really beautiful thing for, you know, people to, you know, tell me how they're enjoying my music with who, and yeah, I think it's a really gorgeous thing. During lockdown, right? During COVID, I was the one that used to listen to other people's kind of like, you know, lo-fi versions of something, or like not even a version, just like, you know, their own lo-fi original music or whatever. I would have it, I would just be going about my day at home, and I would have on, you know, our big TV, I would just have their video up on there. And the lo-fi music would just be playing on the TV.
Yeah.
And then there came a point where I was like, what if I'm that person that creates music like this for other people, you know? So kind of, just being at home and everything, and feeling relaxed by other people's music by listening to those songs on my TV with beautiful artwork. That just inspired me to do a similar kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it's awesome. And it's such a difference, obviously, compared to like the hardcore stuff. But it's both like, they're both relaxing to me. I don't know about you, Ernie.
No, I'll listen to my lo-fi music.
I've been getting Ernie into hardcore shows in the last couple of years. I actually took him to one last Tuesday.
Yep.
Got pretty. Yeah.
I was enjoying it and trying not to get my foot smashed again.
Yeah, he won't get stomped.
Yeah, I cut my foot with a saw, and I didn't want to get it stepped on. Particularly.
Oh my goodness!
So there's me kind of like trying to hop and move my foot.
Yeah, I'm like, stay away from the pit. Just stay back.
We're like 2 people away from the pit, and all of a sudden it gets pushed into me. I look at Jeremy, and he's like, "You're okay. You're gonna be okay.
Just stand behind me. Stand behind me." Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
That is the nice thing though about like being involved in music, is you have such a broad appreciation for music.
Right.
Like I can listen to country, I can listen to just about anything. I always kind of find it cool when you hear like Beethoven or Mozart mixed into something that you wouldn't expect, like Jedi mind tricks. Like they'll use like symphony stuff, and it's so cool. Like we're Rammstein too, right? Rammstein does stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And it's so cool to like, all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I know the name of that song.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's mad. I want to like incorporate more classical stuff. Not even more classical stuff, but actually just start doing classical stuff in my content. Just like random pops of it. Like I was practicing one of my I used to know how to play like a Rachmaninoff piece, and he's known as the composer with the biggest hands, right? Mine are just little, but I manage, and I'm always proud of playing it. Like it's just, you know, really fun and boppy and things like that. And I'm just thinking, you know what? I'll just do like a random 30-second Instagram reel on it, and then the next post is like deathcore, and then it's over. And then it's like R&B. You know, I'm a Gemini, so I have to like.
I'm a Gemini too. That's what's up.
Oh, nice.
My birthday is next week.
Oh,
on
congrats.
Wednesday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't want. I don't know. I told you that, but all right, cool.
Well, mine's on the 17th, so.
All right, so yeah,
perfect.
Gemini. Yeah, I get the Gemini vibe. I totally get it. I'm like, I'm doing 30 things, and like, I can add this here and do this here, and
Yeah.
like, I'm like, look at the
Yeah.
dualistic kind of. No. All right.
It's okay. You do okay.
So
I tolerate you.
So I want to get to Earth Color. I want to get there. I know you wanted to talk about that, but I just want to really hear. I'm really excited about your story. I just really want to hear some more. So,
Yeah.
when people contact you, is it predominantly bands from certain genres, or is it kind of all over the map? We were talking about genres just 2 seconds ago, but I kind of want to ask that question again. Do you get emails from people from different genres all the time, or is it specifically guys in hardcore bands that just want to hear your rad tunes, or what?
So it's normally bands that are, in like rock, metal, heavy, whatever bands. There's people that have just solo projects, and they, just want me to, they just want to have fun with, having me be a feature in one of their songs, just,
Cool.
Just with their hobby or whatever. When I do a bunch of my beat videos on Instagram, right? That's when an influx of, rappers from like New York or whatever.
Oh, no
hit me up.
way.
It's really cool. Yeah. I love having a break from like not doing a type of genre online, right? This is where my whole analyzing thing comes back, right? So not doing a certain genre. And then when I do a pretty good video on that genre after a bit of a break, then I get emails from, oh, hey, can you do a feature for this beat? Or, hey, I'm a rapper from Florida. Can you just do up a beat for me from scratch, right? That's one of my favorite things to do, right? And then I'm like, all right, so my content, like from that, I learned that my content has, some sort of impact on what type of people from what genre contact me. And just quickly, like at this point of time, I've taken a bit of a break from content just because I've been so busy with client work. I've moved house as well, just reset my studio here.
Oh God, man.
I've set my profile pictures to white
I saw that.
I'm just gonna like sign out for a moment.
That's good. It's important. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll be back with, like I now know what works and what doesn't work. And yeah, I would love to do, more genres besides metal. Just for the sake of like, I don't know, just for fun and just to target, more genres, because the more genres, I might target, then I'll get more followers from that. Hence, then like, more clients and, like, things like that. Yeah.
Understand completely.
Have you had any clients reach out to you that you were like, holy shit, I can't believe they just messaged me?
No names. You don't have to say the names. You don't have to say
Does
names.
it rhyme with Misstiq Bieber?
What?
There's a band from America that I'm working with at the moment. I'm not gonna say their name, but they're doing stuff like they're big. They're big.
Yeah.
And it's a job that I'm doing, one thing for them. And I've got a lot of I'm not just doing like, one layer piano to a song or whatever. I'm doing like a big thing, right? And I'm very proud of this because this is where my classical side really comes out.
Yeah.
And I even showed the demo to my mom the other day, and she was just like really proud of it because sometimes she's just like,
Congrats.
do you have to do metal or do you have to whatever? Like, I mean, we're past those days anyway.
Yeah.
But like, this just really was like a nice full circle moment, and I showed her my the band's Spotify, and she's like, yeah, wow, like this is this is quite something. So
that is so cool.
yeah, and like a few months ago, Angel Maker released their album. I've got an interlude in that's got a very classical kind of piano touch. I'm also very proud of that. A few months before that, Volvadinia, I did orchestrals and some strings and some instrumental kind of sections with that band. So yeah, every few months there's a band that is well known that I'm a part of, and in the meantime I'm working on slightly smaller bands or just completely independent solo artists, which is pretty cool.
Man.
So we're not going to say names. But when you do the next big Justin Bieber song, when they post that on say like Spotify or like on YouTube and they get more views, I don't want to know numbers, but would you get a kickback from any of that with you being such a big part of it?
Yeah, I would
Oh, would
feel,
you?
I would feel, you know, it's something that, yeah, I would, yeah, be happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
That's awesome.
yeah, I'm very proud, and like the money aspect is, you know, like there are jobs where I'm just like, you know,
Like,
it'll be good if I get a little bit of a percent just for justice, you know, just because
mhm,
that's, you know,
Mm.
that
mhm.
is business as well. But normally I'm just artist for hire for, you know, like smaller bands or whatever. It's just like, you know, just pay me once, see you later, have
Yeah.
fun. I'll share it down the line on my story, tag me. I want to celebrate it with you. You know, I still want to be part of the journey, right?
Man,
But
that's
like
so
for
cool.
me though, back to where I said, you know, it's not necessarily about, you know, the money. I'm more like when I work with bigger bands, I'm more excited by the fact that I'm working with them in the first place, that they
Mhm.
considered me, that, you know, we're both going to get next level on our social media numbers, on our
Yeah.
engagement. I'm gonna be known to more people, you know, get more clients, all that kind of stuff. Then I'll have more fans to, you know, then tell me what kind of videos they want to see me do, and then it just kind of goes from there. So yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, money is nice.
Yeah. And then also you can show it to your mom and she can be totally stoked for you.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll do like my monthly check-in with mom. Yeah.
Hey mom, how's it? Is this cool? I hope it is.
When
So
you sorry,
so go ahead.
when you do something like on your own, like not with a band or or an artist, and you're
Yeah.
doing like say a remix of a song, or you're doing like a variation of a song that sounds very similar to something that's already been put out. Have you been reached out by that artist? Been like, holy shit, good job?
Yeah, I have. I remember just top of my head right now,
Yeah.
as we're talking, I did just like a red jumpsuit apparatus, piano,
No.
classical kind of thing, face down, you know, obviously who doesn't know that? And they just, you know, they just commented on Facebook, and it was really sweet. I didn't expect it. It was just more, I just needed to let that out of my body and my brain. I'm like, I need to do this song because it's just satisfying, like musically satisfying. And
That's
then,
so
oh, cool, my fans like it. Oh, cool, we got this many shares. And then, oh, yeah, cool, the band just commented on it.
yeah,
You know,
that's
so
pretty
it's
cool.
a nice
Yeah.
bonus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Man.
someone too that when you hear something that you want to either like put out there or produce, like do you have to like can you set it aside and do it like in the future, or is it
Or do you
something
want to
that
do
you
it
like
right
you got
now?
to do like a little bit of it just to get it out of your system, and then like okay, I
Oh
can
my
worry about
gosh,
this
yeah.
later?
There's a type of video that I want to do. I'll tell you now about it, because like by the time, you know, I release it, it might be in a couple of weeks anyway. I've just had to set up this new life of mine now
Mm-hmm.
with this new
Mm-hmm.
studio, right? But since like I would say, you know, almost a year ago, I had this idea of what if I download, you know, just from YouTube, what if I download an a cappella of a really good metal song, Slipknot. Like I've got a Slipknot song in
Whoa. Yeah.
mind,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
where there's, you know, singing,
Hmm.
and I use that a cappella, and I do, you know, like a nice piano ambient arrangement,
Mm-hmm.
where people just like, you know, listen to it and they're like, wow, this touches me even more than the original, you know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
I did Snuff couple years ago. It's just like not even my face. It's like me playing the piano and the camera's just there and you can just see like my hands and the keys. That
Yeah.
got over 1 million views now on Facebook.
Whoa.
And yeah, and then people are requesting Vermilion. So Vermilion Part 2 is what I'm just talking about. So I
Yeah.
have downloaded the acapella of that. Last year I tried out all these piano cool ideas,
Mm-hmm.
but my brand and my brain wasn't ready to post that video, because once I do, I have a feeling it's going to do well. And then, you know, 2 weeks later, I want to have already the next video of that type ready. So that's going to be a type of video that I bring to my fans and everything, like such as my pimped up. It's been a while, but I'm going to probably release a pimped up one like later this week or next week.
Mm.
But yeah, like I'll have it on like loop, as a part of my content. So yeah,
Man,
I
that's
always look for
exciting.
stuff that I enjoy doing, rather than it being a chore, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Oh, you have no idea how many times I get a bride that's like, I really like this instrumental. I'm like, oh,
You
okay,
should
check
use
it
her
out.
stuff.
That's what I'm saying to you, though. Like, you have no idea how many times I hear like it's a metal version, but it's slow, and it's like, I was like, it is like Slipknot or like Metallica, but it's like piano. And there was there's this other guy I follow on YouTube, and he does the same thing where he'll do like he did WAP, and he did like a beautiful piano version of it. I'm like, I gotta find a way to mix that into a wedding because it's so good.
Yeah, good. My guy. I forgot to mention this. So I totally have one of your shirts here. Your merchant, sorry, the Serpent Queen. And I wore this to Christmas. I wore it to Christmas. Was like wearing it around. I have people usually over to my house for Christmas, a big house full, and like I was totally rocking your Serpent Queen shirt, and people were like, that's pretty rad. Pretty rad.
Thank
So,
you.
Yeah.
Thank
All the way
you.
in Canada,
Like,
people are rocking. I'm rocking your. I forgot. I was like,
That's
oh yeah, I better
that's an
mention
awesome
this.
shirt.
Hell yeah, it's a nice shirt. Anyway.
had to let that out. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to tell you. Yeah. So this has kind of brought us up. So how did you get in contact with Earthcaller? First thing you got to know, we're actually going to be talking to Josh in I think a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I like his I like his music, and I seems like a rad guy. I want to hear a story. Anyway, but I'm talking to you though. So how did that happen? What was the genesis of that situation, Earthcaller? I know you did a couple like pimped up songs for them, but how did they kind of contact you? Like, how did they contact you?
So, 2 years ago, so as in like, the year before last year, Josh emailed me around like mid-year saying, hey, we've got an EP coming out, like, in like a year's time or something. We'd like for you to, feature on a couple of songs. And one of those songs was this song called Choke. And so, yeah, they first hit me up just like a normal band does, for client work, right?
Mhm.
And I knew about Earthcaller. Like, I knew that I always saw them as like a very hyped band, very fun, party, respected kind of band. And so I was actually excited. I'm like, oh, this is cool, like someone from my country,
Yeah.
like my state, because it's always like I have worked with a bunch of Australian bands before and artists, but not as many as the rest of the world, right? And I'm just always used to being like locked into my room doing music. So when they asked me to do the video clip, I'm like, I can finally leave the house and still work, right? Still work. But leave the house, do the video clip. This was like about a year later once the song was finalized. And then I met the band for the first time at that video clip. And I was more than happy to just, drive down, do it, have a really nice day. And I got to know how the, filming works, the, green screen, all that cool stuff. Like,
That's
I
awesome.
always find it very fascinating, right? The band was lovely. The videographer was amazing as well, who we also worked with for our latest single, I Will Return, the one with the fire.
Yeah.
Martin Wood. Yep. So I met the band at this video clip. This is like not even a year ago, right? And like I fell in love with them. Really cool personalities, but we didn't agree yet to me joining the band. Like, it wasn't even in conversation until the video clip dropped a couple months later. We were like experiencing the excitement of it together. Like, I remember, texting Josh and texting the band about, how exciting it is, or like, oh, can you do this post now? And then I'll comment on it. Then people are going to see Misstiq comment on it. Like all this kind of like strategic algorithm stuff, right? And they were still learning about that. Like, whereas I like live and breathe that, right?
Live and breathe.
They were looking at they were looking at Spotify numbers saying, oh, hey, this song's doing really well because it's got this many streams. And I don't know what good streams are, right? So I'm learning from them about, Spotify, all that kind of stuff, right? And they're learning social media stuff from me. So straight away, we were a really good team. And then I remember later that day, Josh just kind of joking, like he was kind of joking but being serious, saying, what if you're a full-time member? And because we were kind of coming out of COVID, we were a million times in lockdown here in Melbourne anyway.
Yeah,
so it's
we
like,
heard. Yeah.
I found, unfortunately, I found it hard to agree to like anything, right? I was set to like, I said to myself, I remember just even earlier that year, I'm like, you know what, if I have to just work from home for the rest of my life, so be it. It's still a good job to have. I'm still proud of doing what I'm doing. Like I basically said goodbye to, you know, the outside world, right?
Yeah.
And I said to him, I'm like, you know, as, you know, amazing as it would be, I'm just not sure how COVID's going to, you know, make things work, right? And then literally 10 minutes later, I'm like, you know what, let's just do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, because, you know, like if, you know, I just wanted to be a part of a band or a group that I could celebrate releases of, or I could, you know, celebrate success with. Because whenever I say, like, you know, whenever I would do a video that, I would post a video or do a really cool feature for someone or whatever. Whenever I had a really cool moment as Misstiq, I had no one to kind of celebrate with. It was
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of me. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
High five.
High five, pat on the back.
Yeah, I know.
Get your
My
dog a
back's
kiss.
bruised from all the back pats I've given myself. But yeah, I think it's such a beautiful thing to just be in the group now and do Misstiq as well. And yeah, ever since then we've just been really tight. And yeah, I got announced. So we kind of agreed on, you know, my position in Earthcaller, like not completely like end of the year, maybe like October or something, or like whenever the song was out. And I said, let's announce it in the new year, because I just always prioritize my kind of balance, like in my brain. Like I've just got so much stuff going on that I'm like, yeah, I just need a couple months to just, you know, even just strategically plan out the announcement, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, new year, new band kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And that also allowed us to pan out how this year is going to look like, which is looking amazing so far. And yeah, like just recently we did a re-release of their song I Will Return. That was
Yeah.
a single from them 2 years ago, which also appears on their EP that got released last year. But I just remember one time we were like on tour or something, or me and Josh were just like in the car, and we were listening to I Will Return, and I'm like, oi Josh, I can see a mad ass video clip with fire to this song. And he's like, say no more, fam. And then here we are, you know.
Yeah, that's an awesome video.
Yeah.
My
really
God. So cool when it dropped. It dropped for you guys at midnight. And for me, anyway, for us,
Yeah.
I saw it anyway. It was awesome. It was just rad. I also saw that you guys are gonna be going down to Kentucky, for
Yes.
Irate Fest. Is
Very
it this summer?
excited.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like late August, and the bands are getting, like the headlining bands and some, you know, smaller bands are still getting announced. So we got told a bunch of bands that are playing, but still I think there's a whole bunch that we haven't gotten told. So I'm really excited to see, you know, who's playing and all that,
Yeah.
who I'll be meeting. There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of bands that I'm kind of friends with too, right?
Oh, cool.
So finally, they're not going to be online friends. They'll be real
Yeah,
life friends.
real life high five and handshake friends. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Man,
Exactly.
that's awesome. So what is like? So I know you've you guys toured for like a month now. Like you guys were doing like a bunch of gigs in the last month, right?
Yeah, we were doing just like a whole bunch of things in Australia, and like, you know, Earthcaller are really well known in Australia, and it was nice to add that freshness of, you know, having Misstiq on stage. So what we did, right, was basically like we have like, I don't know how many songs we've got on our set list mainly, but it's like, you know, 10 to 13 songs, whatever. I grabbed those songs and just added my own spice to it. I just, you know, I would like follow the, you know, very backing guitar melody
Yeah.
and the stuff that's in the samples, and just add my own like huge synth sounds and everything like that. So that was really fun to just kind of, you know, right over the top of what they've got, but still complement the song. I don't want to change it too much, because I don't want people to come to their show that already know their song
Right.
and then hear a song that's like, what is this song? Like what is this? You know?
Yeah.
So I had to like still have some sort of impact on their songs, right? But not completely like transform it like ridiculously. But yeah, we're all really happy with, you know, how we sound live and everything, and we're just, you know, preparing for also later in the year we're having Dropout Kings come to Australia for a tour.
Oh, no
and
way.
maybe
No way.
Virginia. Yeah.
My
Wow.
So
God.
Dropout Kings, and then
Wow.
a few days later, Virginia. We're doing the same states, so we're gonna have right. This is the thing with Earthcaller. They've got songs like the song, you know, I Will Return, which is like really heavy,
Oh yeah.
and then they've got songs that are similar to Dropout Kings, which have, you know, rapping in it
Melodic.
already. And then there's just like some, you know, really goosebumpy choruses in some other songs. So we've got all these songs that, you know, can be catered for different types of shows. So Dropout Kings, we're going to have those more kind of hip songs and, you know, still whatever singles we want to have out this year. Vulvadinia, we're going to save, you know, the really heavy kind of things as well. Because you want to suit the band that you're supporting, right?
Right.
And you also want people to come to your shows twice. So we're going to be like revisiting the same states and most of the same venues with Vulvadinia. But we want to make it clear, like I said to the guys, I'm like, let's kind of make it clear online that, you know, come to both shows because we're going to be playing different songs and it's going to be a party, you know.
Yeah, you guys are rip it up. So as a performer and as a musician, you've been performing in people your entire life. And to get to this point, what was that like, that first show going on there and performing in front of everyone with a hardcore band? What was that like?
Yeah, it was mad. It was completely natural.
Cool.
And then I'm like thinking, crap, maybe the second show I'll be stressing. No, I wasn't. You know, maybe third show I'll be stressing. Like I'm just waiting for that stressful moment, and I'm stressing because I'm not stressing.
Oh yeah, anxiety without
like,
having.
You know,
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like I was just like I've been going to, you know, shows for the longest time. You know, just all throughout like my teenage years and stuff. So you kind of know what it might feel like. You know, and because my brain is so busy just like always working and stuff, just doing stuff, like being seen by, you know, thousands and thousands of people online, being seen on stage is just like kind of the same, you know. But yeah, like super fun.
Cool.
Yeah, just having a good time.
Yeah. When are you guys coming to Toronto?
Well, we'll see. We hope to we're looking into some stuff.
That'd be cool.
For, you know, around Kentucky time.
Yeah.
You know, because like
come up.
You know,
we're up
we can't
north.
just go for one show.
Ready for my attempt at a local reference?
Yeah.
They're gonna leave during swooping season.
Oh yeah. No. Right now is winter for them, right? You guys are in winter, right?
Damn it.
Yeah, we're going into winter soon. Yeah.
Thought I had one there.
What? So we have a bunch of friends from Australia. A buddy of ours, his name's Dan. He works at a piercing shop in Melbourne. I forget.
It's just hanging around.
What is it? What's the shop again? Do you remember? Look it up real quick.
I couldn't tell you.
But he actually used to live in Cambridge, and so we became homies, like really tight. And he moved back there, and then he got married. But he was always telling us about how like these birds had a season where they attacked people, and like he's like, you can't go out at night because the kangaroos and stuff. And I'm like, there's no way. And so then he sent us these videos of like these like birds. So that's where he was like implying like swooping season. I'm like, is that like
it's
like
a thing.
Man,
Stoneheart piercing. That's it.
Where's that? Oh, it's I think he's in. I know he lives in Melbourne though. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Nice,
Dan's a cool guy.
nice.
Love you, Dan. Anyway. So what's with this swooping season? Like, what happens? Like,
I've never been swooped. I've never been swooped before.
Okay.
But it's not a fun time. But like you've heard, seriously, there have been stories where, like, this is pretty dark, but like a mother was holding her baby and she got swooped and dropped the baby.
No.
That's how serious it gets. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And, you know, there are people like riding their bikes and, you know, you hear that they have to wear helmets anyway, but like their faces, you know, and yeah. I haven't been swooped. I might be swooped this year because we, you know, talked about it today.
No, we talked about it. Yeah.
They sound like assholes, like our Cobra chickens that we got.
Yeah. We have these we call them Canadian geese. And like right now they're really picky about their nesting areas. Their nesting areas. And if you walk near them at all, they run at you and they whack you with we call them Cobra chickens because they're just dicks.
And they know they got immunity. Like they're pompous. They're
because you can't hit them.
You can't kill me.
If you like literally like you could look up videos is Canadian geese stopping traffic because they walk across the street and you have to sit there for like 15 minutes because they'll stand there because you can't get up because they're Canadian geese. They're like kind of like important, right? Because like if there's a video of me, like the bearded guy, like swinging out of Canadian geese, I'm done. Like it's over. It's over for me. You know what I mean?
I kind of want to do a TikTok video of one doing that, and then like not me killing it, but like me just kind of looking at it, and then just gunning my truck, and then like 5 minutes later with me with like a beer can chicken on the barbecue.
Ah, gross.
I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good idea, but I don't know. I don't know how well.
Goes
Not gonna,
viral.
don't
Yeah,
put it on
yeah.
our not on our
No,
TikTok.
not on
though.
TikTok.
Not on our
the
TikTok.
PMA, no.
Yeah, our TikTok, our audience is people who think we're funny looking and
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I guess I don't know.
And not killing our national
Yeah.
birds.
I also was really stoked when you said yes, because I know you said you don't hang out with people or do content with people who don't like post a lot or like part of things, and I was just like, man, I hope we make the list.
Oh my god. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like I get I mean, I'm sure any other artist gets the same kind of thing, right? Where there's just like an influx of emails here and there. Like, hey, can you be a part of this? Can you be a part of this? So yeah, when I went on your Instagram, you know, you guys look really busy. I'm like, yep, sweet, relevant, fun.
Yeah.
You know, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But there are people that just barely introduce themselves, or they just say, if there's an email that just says hello without saying speak, that's a delete.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I gotta look at that first email I wrote. You.
Make sure to delete that
unless there's a vibe, you know.
Yeah.
Unless there's a vibe, you guys passed the vibe check.
Rad.
You know, and if there's like a link to like an Instagram, Facebook,
yeah.
or whatever, then you know, it's like
Woo!
it's just even better.
We made it, Ernie.
Don't
Yeah.
made it. Yeah, don't lie. It was 100% me singing to that stupid fish,
No,
right?
no.
We all know
I'm
how
pretty
it
sure
was.
my head was anyway. Podcast has.
It was
whatever.
like he's singing to a fish with a red hat
I
on.
don't think she saw that video.
Sold.
No, she didn't see the video.
Oh my god.
That's actually our biggest
I'll have to
TikTok
put it.
video.
Yeah.
That's our biggest one.
Me and
Ernie
fish.
singing to
Me
a
and
fish.
fishy.
Yeah, our big pike.
You guys should get those like fish flip flops. Have you seen them?
What?
No, but now I
Like
want to
these,
see them.
like- yeah, like these slides. Do you guys say
Oh,
slides?
Yes, I know what a slides are, yeah.
oh,
yeah.
flip flop? Sorry, I'm trying to like talk your language.
No,
It's
I
okay.
know what a
call
slide
them
is.
thongs.
We call them
thongs.
slides.
Or
Songs?
slides.
Yeah.
Actually,
This-
thongs are like the part that goes between.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
thongs.
I hate those
But
ones.
Those
yeah, we
hurt.
say
Those
slides.
hurt. I don't do those. Don't do
Yeah.
the top. Ouch.
You get those wet and they hurt your feet.
Oh, and you fall.
I
and-
can feel it
and then
already.
They rip.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
don't
can
do those.
feel it.
Yeah, but I'm either a
You should pair it with the socks that go between each toe.
yeah. Oh, double header. There you go. No.
I wear socks and sandals to work.
Yeah, but long ass socks though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He
Hike
wears
'em
the-
up.
The long ones.
Hike them up. It's not a fashion contest in my
Talking
work.
about like, so you're like the fashion with your brand is also on point. Like you're just very like everything is very
Thanks.
specific, and like we're not fashionable people. Like you know we're like all right.
I mean,
pretty-
look at
Hey,
you now.
speak for yourself.
right. Look at my shirt.
You don't know what I'm wearing. Not past the
He's
Down
wearing a
here?
Toronto Blue Jay shirt.
Gucci pants.
But like I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm wearing some pretty. Yeah, I'm wearing moccasins right now. Actually, bull hide moccasins. Yeah, they're really nice. Anyway, what am I talking about here?
Canadian goose feathers.
Canadian, yeah, exactly. The content in Canada. But I
I lost what you were gonna say.
I lost it. We're gone. Anyway.
Fashion.
Yeah.
My fashion.
Everything's very cool with you. You're super cool.
Thank you. I try and like I just try and be comfortable in everything, and like whenever it's like I think like for different types of videos I change my outfits a little bit. Like for example, I don't know, like for if it's like a finger drumming video, right? With like a really cool like trap song, then I might like dress similar to like almost going to a club or whatever,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And if it's like a deathcore video, then I would just wear like mainly like blacks and stuff like that. I'm like normally a fan of just like wearing like, just like t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like being comfortable, or just like a tank top or whatever. And yeah, and the hair is the priority as well. Like just gotta have it.
Yeah.
Have
For
a
us, it's a
nice
beard.
flowy-
The beard's gotta be really good.
Yeah.
That's our shtick.
Yeah.
It's the
People wonder if we have necks. It's
Yeah,
nice. Yeah.
People wonder if they're real.
Yeah.
No, they're real, folks.
No, they're not glued on.
Well, you go ahead.
So when you're doing, like you were saying, the drum pad for when you're doing like the sound pad with the drums, how much does it drive you nuts when you watch people do that and you realize that shit ain't plugged in and they're just making it up?
Oh my god. Yeah. Like it's annoying, but it's like, in the back of my head, I'm like, no, that's okay. That's like a performance video. It's like a video clip. You know how bands fake play guitars and stuff during a video clip? Yeah, as long as like, they're having a vibe or whatever, that's, that's important, But yeah, it's like if you want to hide the fact that it's not plugged in, like at least just like
Fake it.
frame the video different, bro. Like, just try and like don't make it that obvious that's not plugged in or whatever, or like not even lighting up, I've had people say to me, because I do all my finger drumming stuff live, obviously. I just hit record. I already have the thing recorded, like the idea, so I know it sounds good.
Yeah.
Then I mute that track and I have another track, that would be the recorded one. Because sometimes I might put like an extra hi-hat little roll or whatever, it's kind of like, freestyling in a way as well. But I would have people commenting on my video saying like, oh, she's just faking it, or it's not even plugged in, or like it clearly is plugged in because it's lighting up,
Yeah, exactly.
And but it's cool because it's like, oh wow, those people just straight away think, because my video is that good, they think that it's like I'm faking it. So it's I have a compliment.
100%. I got a funny video for you. It just popped in my head. So what you need to do is go for all those of you that think it's not.
This is a classic Ernie move. Just he has these ideas, and everybody has to hear one of them. So this is
what I promised, and that's it. So what you got to do is like with either your mixer or your I call it a drum pad, but I know it's not a drum pad. It's a sound pad basically. But what you do is like take plugs that don't belong to the mixer, and then like have forks coming out of it, and like have like a spaghetti noodle or something coming out, and be like, see, told you, this shit's real.
All right, I'll get onto it.
Yeah. But I was gonna say though, like you can't. It's hard to follow people when you know that they're just faking it, and it's just like that's recorded, and it's not even like I'd understand if they were keeping the beat, but it's like people watching people like mouth the words.
I know.
And it's
like I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be nice by being like, like whatever, like.
Yeah, give them the benefit of the doubt.
Got it, but honey,
I'll say it.
No.
I'll say it.
Garbage. Hey, this is the PM&A podcast. Positive. Let's go. Let's keep it.
Yeah, I'm positive that you're full of shit.
Yeah.
And I got another quick question for you. So your hardware that you use, all like the pianos and the pads and like everything, what do you use to keep like the dust and crap out of that? Because let me tell you, I have such a hard time, even with my stupid little mixer.
Yeah.
Now, I found a hack online, and it's like the only thing that I use, because I tried using that liquid air, and the problem with that is if it like runs out, you're getting like the moisture shooting out, and that's the last thing I need on my mixer. I saw somebody use a paintbrush.
What?
That's clever too. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's just like intricate. Like I've got dust on this thing here.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there because I've just like started unpacking stuff in my studio lately. But I would say just like, wet wipes, or I would, sometimes dampen a wet wipe with, just tissues or a paper towel, just so it's not too wet. And then, I'll just, quickly run it over everything. And I just try and have, just in general, in terms of like cleanliness, I try and just keep my desk, not, because I've got a big desk. I don't want to have, just because there's space doesn't mean that I have to use it up, and it just keeps my brain clean and everything. And it's just easier to clean that way, like all the dust from the table and, like my interface, everything like that.
Yeah, I just worry about getting stuff wet. I'm like, well, that's all I need. I'm gonna get shot here. It's gonna blow up.
You heard from her. Yeah, that's what's up.
Damn frag.
Man, there you go. So I don't know how much time you have left. I know we were just saying like an hour or whatever, but yeah, whatever. Cool. So you got all this stuff happening. You feels like you're like when you describe things, it's like you're like carrying different plates. You're wearing different hats. You're all over the place. So what keeps you organized? Like, do you use certain apps? Like, do you have someone who helps you with your bookings and stuff? Like, I know you said you're taking a break and that was your kind of choice, but like, how many times have you had to kind of revamp that scheduling ideas and like how keeping yourself organized? Like, has that been all something natural for you or?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So when it comes to my clients, right, that's like my number one priority. Like I don't want to, stuff anything up with them. I've got a huge spreadsheet over the past year and a bit where it's got like, it's just nicely laid out, like name, band name, job number. The job numbers then lead to my files on my computer, so I can like I know who's who, because every week I'm carrying like 5 bands, like 5 projects. I mean, when I say bands, I mean like just literally any client. And yes, I've got a whole spreadsheet for my clients, you know, how much they've paid so far, everything's organized. And then when it comes to my content, right, I've got I don't know where it is at the moment, but I've got a I've got 2 types of calendars. Whiteboards, right? A smaller whiteboard is, you know, every day of the week, just like, you know, Sunday to Saturday. And that's like my intricate kind of, you know, detailed stuff, any little personal things that I need to do, or when I'm like when I need to sit down and work on a video for myself or whatever, right? Or do a photo, like soon I'll be doing a new profile photo and all that kind of stuff. Once I'm, you know, back with my content after this little break that I had.
Yeah.
And then I've got a bigger whiteboard, which is like 1 month. So it's got like little squares for every day. And when I need to post something, whether it's my content or whether a band has paid me to do up like a really cool video to like promote the feature, then I have that penciled into that calendar. So it's like, do not miss this thing that is due on this day. So I've got these little types of strategies to help me keep track of everything every day. And like, you know, one thing is like my job, my music, and then another part is just like personal stuff. So that's also a really good way to be able to pencil in, you know, like when I want to go for a run, or soon I want to sign up to the gym, and I'll be able to, you know, say, you know, go to the gym every 2 days, or every now and then. And it's just about having a good balance, you know.
Yeah.
Just got to be organized. Yeah.
Yep. Man, that's we have like virtual whiteboards for like the podcasts, and we have like a, what do you call it? A conjoined note. So like, you know, put the notes on an iPhone, and like we both can be like editing and stuff, and like just sort of on the same page. And yeah, it's just always interesting to see how people organize it. And because like someone like yourself, that's like a full-time gig, like your content is your full-time gig, and this is just like part-time for us, right? But we keep it organized and try to schedule it. And like when things happen, when people get COVID, for instance, you know, like you got to book some things and move things around. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shit
like
happens.
I was sick when, you know,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago we were meant to do this podcast. And like the
Yeah.
night before that, I was feeling the flu just take over my body, and I knew that I would wake up just feeling like dead. So I had to, one of my priorities is like, all right, I have to message whoever I'm dealing with, you know, the next day, like you guys.
Yeah, me.
Have to message you guys ASAP. And cool, that's a bit more than 12 hours to go. So like, out of respect, you know, I don't like messaging too late. But yeah, no, thanks again for rescheduling.
No, hell no.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Like
they're gonna do it.
yeah. We've had to reschedule. So I unfortunately got COVID, and so we had to reschedule other people this week as well. You know, moving things around. So COVID,
I got
man,
Super G and I'm good.
Yeah, we had to move some stuff around, but yeah. No, I'm good.
You'll
good
get
now.
it next week.
Yeah. He thinks he's rolling out of this.
I'm the cure.
He's triple vaxxed and he's ready to rock and roll.
There are people, they're pumping veins and they're like, sir, we need you. I'm
Give
like,
us your blood.
there's only so much of me to go around, sir.
So what do you have coming up that you're excited for that you can talk about? I know that you got probably a lot of things coming up you're excited, but is there anything coming up besides the tour we were just talking about that you're stoked for, that you're like, okay, this is I'm excited.
Like, I made it. Nah, I didn't.
You made it a while ago. Are you kidding?
Well, when it comes from the short term to long term kind of thing, it's like this upcoming week, you know, I'm ready to take like, you know, a new profile picture for my content, for my cool. Social media. I want to feel renewed, fresh. I've you know, archived a few irrelevant posts. I want to clean up my social media a little bit, see what people want. Basically, I'm just, you know, very keen to get back into posting stuff again after like 2-3 months of a break. Then after that, once I'm on a roll, I'll you know, continue working through my clients. I'm excited for this, you know, big band that I'm working with to release this single with me.
We're stoked to hear about it.
100%.
Yeah, it's really sweet. Yeah. It's got a lot of like a classical element to it, so you'll know when it pops up. And they're an American band, by the way. Pretty sure. And then, after that, like after I've got my content back, trying out new types of videos, having, like the features out that I've been working, on bands with. I've got, Earth Callers, American Festival, and after that it's just like, the Australian tour, Dropout Kings, Volvirginia. So it's now is my time to kind of find that balance with my content, since I'll be like, kind of doing like a bit of a not a rebrand, but just like really like next level, Misstiq, right? Once I find that balance, then, the Kentucky Festival will come just in time that I'll be able to, pre-record videos, post around that time. And then, while I'm touring with Earthcaller for Dropout Kings and then Volvirginia later in the year, I want to have just this, like my goal is just to have a good balance and have good organization. Because once you have that, you're kind of unstoppable,
Right.
So I want to have like all these different videos and content in my pocket while I'm on the road. And then, oh, cool, let's just post this today, or let's just schedule this, let's just do that. And beside that, me and Earthcaller have been, working together on how to up their social media game. So, like me and Josh are going to be doing soon like a vocal playthrough of I Will Return, just to promote the song again, and he'll be doing like a live playthrough. And he's like really great at what he does. So we're just trying to milk out this release of I Will Return strategically. So then, by the time our next release comes out, which is most likely going to be a single, like an actual single, right? Not like a re-release of, like I Will Return or whatever.
Man.
By the time the next thing comes out, this previous song will be like milked out enough to then hype up the next thing, right? And then then we will have, our tours and stuff like that. So it's like Misstiq, and then Earthcaller is another whole thing, right?
Man,
but there's always so much happening.
Sounds like you should also do a side business as like a social media coach. That's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, like, I'd love to. I'd honestly love to. And then it comes down to like, I've got, I've got all these ideas of like wanting to share my knowledge, and like I'm very passionate about what I do, right? Then it comes down to like, do I do like one masterclass where I've got a lot of people buy tickets for it, or
I
I have Skype sessions, or with one-on-one, or who knows, So it's like, since I don't know the answer to that yet, I, kind of just close the door on it for the moment. I want to work on my brand now. And when I feel the time is ready, once I'm like really like, going at it, I'm organized, I'm feeling mentally stable.
Yeah.
Then I can introduce this next kind of, business opportunity, and like, like someone else as well.
Yeah, so if you're ever coming out with like a Hans Zimmer kind of like masterclass, like, just let us know. We'll hook you up. We'll get you. You never know who Hans Zimmer is?
Yeah, I know he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he is.
That was the one I've only ever seen like one or two that I might end up taking. I was like, what was it? The one Marshmallow one he did, like when he was doing his, I don't know if you saw it on YouTube, but he was showing you like how he uses this giant mixing board, and then like he's like, you could do it with this, or you could do what everybody else does with the computer in your garage. And stuff. It was so cool. Like, and then the Hans Zimmer one looked like, it looks so. I think that guy's just so interesting when he talks about.
I want to maybe like look into the Hans Zimmer one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just that like when I do, like I definitely want to release educational content, or just something that helps people get from A to B, or like A to Z, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But when I do it, I want to do it well. I don't want to just do something and be like, oh, I'll just do it however I want, and then I'll just learn from it, and then a year later I'll just do the next thing a little bit better. Like, I think it's time that I just kill it from the beginning, So I want to maybe buy three types of classes, like one of them being Hans Zimmer, another one like some rapper, another one being like a totally different thing, like maybe something that a while ago, the company Arturia released, how to write chill hop by one of their,
Oh,
right?
cool.
So I want to buy I want to just assess 3 different types of educational, content type of things that I might go, do myself, see what I like about them, see what can be better, see what suits me and my brand. And then just kind of go for it and release it at a good time, maybe in the new year or something, because when the thing with classes or like education and stuff, right, or self-development, let's just say, people are more likely to want to do that in the new year. Fresh year. And this year, so it's like when I have this thing out in January, people are more likely going to buy it. It's going to be more popular that way. So I've still got time, still got time, but definitely I want to do it.
So for our Christmas episode, when we have you on to promote your masterclass, we'll bring it up, I promise.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I should do some I want to do pre-release promo and stuff.
Yeah.
Last thing I'm gonna give you Christmas presents is a good masterclass.
Yes.
See, a good stocking stuffer is Misstiq's masterclass.
Oh, that's a good business move. Okay, maybe, but
see, I'm like a broken clock. I'm right twice a day.
Maybe not.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. You're reaching. Maybe me. You know what? She should give us a master class on like how to do what we do.
How to shut up and let people talk.
Yeah, or just yeah.
Oh.
How to be better podcasters, I guess. We try our best.
Oh my god.
So it's not, like, again, sounds like you're super busy.
Yeah, you only got a couple things.
Yeah, a couple things going on.
Yeah.
So again, we want to say thank you so much for the time you've given us today. Tonight, I mean tonight for us, today for you. It's 11:30 at night for us. But we just want to say thank you for hanging out and talking with us and hearing your story, and we're stoked to hear. Yeah, we were just stoked to have you on and talk to
100%,
you. So
100%.
thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Super exciting for me as well, and this isn't something that I always do, and I think the things like this are like really precious, like talking with people that live on the other side of the world and enjoy the same things as I do, and thank you so much for all these.
And I know, like myself, and I know like other people listening to podcasts, they get a lot of like listen to inspiring people like yourself that like other people have done things similar to it, and it's like you took the ball and ran with it, right? So like it is very inspiring to listen to your story.
Your story is really cool. So and thank you for I know you don't do this a lot, so I know that's a big deal. So thank you for letting us into your life and hearing a story, and like letting people hear about your story. It's so cool.
And sorry for people listening to get a hold of your content. So obviously, your music is on Spotify. And did you say SoundCloud as well? Did you say
the hidden stuff?
Yeah, it's just like my old stuff. If people just type in Misstiq Archives SoundCloud on Google, then they'll find the stuff that I kind of stripped out from YouTube. It was just like a lot of crap that I had from ages ago. And yeah, I've got stuff on SoundCloud, but that's not something that I promote too much. It's just if people type it in, they can type it in. But yeah, like Spotify, I've got 2 video game instrumental albums, and then mainly I'm on Instagram, Misstiq.wav, Misstiq.wave.
Where you pretend to play your music, right?
Pretend.
Yeah, right. Pretend to plug it in.
Yeah. Where you pretend to plug it in.
Plug in my grand piano.
Yeah.
So yeah, Instagram, Facebook. I've got TikTok as well. I've got some really cool TikTok ideas coming up as well, which I'll be posting, in the next couple months or something like that. I think that's about it. Oh, and YouTube too. YouTube is coming as well. More stuff on there.
And your merch. Sorry, where do people get a hold of that?
Your merch.
So my main website for my merch is mistiqmerch.com, and that's where I pack and ship the merch myself. I've got more designs on there. A few months ago, I opened up a store on Indie Merch. That's indiemerch.com/Misstiq. That's, the Serpent Queen merch and some, a few other designs that I released this year. But anything that I released, last year and before that is on mistiqmerch.com. And that's, I write like a nice little thank you note for my fans and everything.
Nice.
Also shipping worldwide.
I didn't get one.
And if they use the promo code PM&A podcast, you'll throw in a free swooping bird.
No. Yeah, exactly. I think I bought one of your shirts from a U.S. store. I didn't get the cool. Dang.
Wow.
No.
Waited.
It's okay.
This
This is way better.
You couldn't have waited till
Yeah,
she was
no,
off.
no,
till you
no, no.
said
I'm saying
that,
this
eh?
is a way. This is way better than just a note. You know, we got to hang out for like an hour. So
Now you're
I
gonna have to
know, I
send
know.
it to her
Stop
so she can
complaining.
sign it and then get it
What's
back.
that?
Be grateful.
yeah, I'm very grateful. Yeah. And again, thank you again. So we'll let you know when this drops. I'll let you know. But
Yeah,
yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Thanks.
By the
Yeah.
way, do you guys record the video by any chance?
We do. Yeah.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Yeah, because one of the things that I like seeing with podcasts online is just like, just like to see the
We
people
do.
talking.
Yeah. We record
Not
the
just like an audio set like file kind of
So,
thing. I'm like,
I'll you'll see. Like you'll probably look through the feed that I make.
yeah,
So
I
like,
have seen. Yeah, that's
so like
right. Yeah,
some of them
I
have the
to look.
video, and then some of them I'll do like audio, and then we'll post stuff on TikTok with the video, and then for
That's
some reason
so
I'm
good.
still doing it
Yeah.
on
So
Facebook.
cross-platform.
For some reason on Facebook we're still doing it. I don't know.
I don't know why.
But and then like we'll do like a build up, and then we do like an episode drop. We do a whole thing. So
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. And yeah, I'll help spread the word as well
yeah,
about
that's
it
cool
and
too.
everything.
That'd be awesome. We'd be
yeah.
stoked for that. Yeah, my God, this was awesome.
Yeah, this was great.
Cool. We always like having a good time, and right off the bat, you're just like super cool. So this is Raddest
Oh,
chat.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Tell Josh. I don't know if you see him. Like we'll be talking to him in a month, and we'll be hanging out with him.
Absolutely.
But
He's really
man.
excited too. Yeah.
yeah, he seems like a cool guy. We like hanging out with cool people. So all right, we'll let you go.
Woo.
Okay.
All right, thanks guys. Have a
Enjoy
good
your
night.
day.
Much.
Yep.
All right,
See you
bye.
later.
Thank you.
Bye.